talk. Why do you think that marriage is a scam? Like, do you think the marriage is scam? Right? Because I get to hear that often. I hear people say marriage is a scam. And usually when people say these things, it's because of the challenges and the situations that they are facing in their marriage. So they use the situations, the challenges that they are facing in their marriage, coupled with those that they have heard from their family members, from friends, or they have seen on TV to conclude that marriage is a scam. However, I don't think so. I think otherwise. And the reason is simple is many people come into marriage with the mindset of marriage is going to make them happy, marriage is going to make them richer, marriage is going to make them more powerful, and the rest. But the thing about it is that marriage is just like a child that is born today. And social science says that the child is born tabula rasa, which means that there's nothing in the child's head. The child has no religion, the child has no culture, the child has no morality, the child has no ethics, the child has no law, right? In fact, most of the time, the child only wants to do three things. The child wants to eat, the child wants to cry or play, and sleep, right? So those are some of the things that the baby is focused on, right? So that is how your marriage is. From the day your marriage shows up, it's just like that, blank, like nothing in it. You are the one that creates it. You are the one that designs your marriage. Of course, you are also the person who chose your partner. You chose your spouse. Nobody chose the person for you. So you definitely saw what you wanted to create, and you felt that this person was best for it. Now, who are you going to put the blame on for that? If you think your spouse is lazy, if you think your spouse is not caring enough, if you think your spouse is not supportive enough, if you have all those complaints that you're having right now, who should you blame? Because at the end of the day, you are the one who made this choice. You chose this person. Let's assume you got married at 28, or you got married at 30, maybe even 25, or you got married at 40. You spent all these years preparing for marriage. So the question becomes, what were you preparing for? Did you understand what marriage truly entails? Did you go into research to say, what is it that make marriages work? Who is the kind of person I need to get married to be able to create the type of marriage that I want? Did you actually sit down and you were deliberate? You research on this particular thing the way you may have researched for your project in school? Well, I don't understand that some people don't even do that. They subcontract it out, or they just go and copy and paste, right? But then look at it this way. It's just the same time when I knew I was relocating to the city of Ibadan. I started reading about the people. I wanted to understand the culture. I wanted to understand the demography. I wanted to have some basic understanding of it, right? Many people don't get to do this about marriage. So they rate marriage. They look at marriage from the romance novels they read, from the romance movies they watch, forgetting that many of these writers, many of these producers, they aim to entertain you. Their goal is to entertain you or to captivate you, right? And not necessarily to educate you, not necessarily to teach you. Yes, it is okay for you to consume some of this content, but then you must be able to differentiate reality from life. You must be able to go and ask people who are in marriage and ask them, what is it that is working? What is it that is not working? And again, when you're asking people what is it that is not working, be sure to be deliberate to also ask them, why is it that it is not working? Because there are many people out there in our churches, in our community, in our family, who keep on complaining that marriage is a scam, marriage is a scam. But if you sit down and assess their marriage, if you sit down and decide to review their marriage, you discover that it is not marriage that is a scam. It is their own marriage that is a scam, right? So they have the show of it, but not the reality. Why? The ingredients of having a great marriage, the things required to have a great marriage, in their marriage, they are refusing to exhibit it. One person is refusing to exhibit it, or the two people are refusing to exhibit it. You get it now? So you review their marriage and you assess their marriage, and you see that they are doing many things wrong. You try to tell them, okay, why don't you try this other thing? Why don't you try this other thing? And some of them are like, no, I'm not doing it. This is how it is. Some of them come in with their own mindset. They refuse to be flexible. They refuse to be adaptable. If you see most of the marriages that have issues today, the problem is not marriage. The problem is the two people who are in it. So they are the ones that are creating their reality. They are the ones creating what they are experiencing. And I don't like when such people use their own marriage to rate every other marriage. Because no, every person is not like your husband and every person is not like your wife. And because the two of you are different and the other two people are different, your realities are not the same. Right? So in a recent, marriage is not a scam. It is these people's marriages that is a scam. Maybe because they were living a fake life, and so living a fake life, they chose a fake person, or they wanted the fake reality. They did not consider what it will actually take to create a happily ever after. They did not look into the fact that when children comes into marriage, it changes the equation, it changes everything. When there are money issues, or when your work or your business needs serious demands on you, or the government can come in with one policy that can change your life drastically and affect your existence. How do you face those situations? They did not consider these things. They just felt it was, to them, it was just the lovey-dovey thing. It was just the beautiful romance they saw on TV. They're like, when I get married, I'll be cooking in the kitchen, and my husband will be helping with the dishes, he'll be washing the place, we'll do this and that together, without first of all asking the man if he likes doing the dishes, if he even does the dishes at home, without first of all asking the woman if she likes cooking, if she ever wants to cook. So we most of these people get to create in their head a fantasy that they themselves and their partner cannot recreate. Right? They cannot recreate because right now in their existence, because right now in their reality, that thing does not exist. Your marriage is what you bring into your marriage. That's just a simple truth. Your marriage cannot be sweeter than what you and your spouse brings into the marriage. So right now, if you're married or right now you're single, I'd like to ask, who are you? Right? And who is this person that you are getting married to? What is the type of marriage you want to create? You must be detailed and deliberate about every aspect. Okay, I just changed my work schedule recently, and of course, I want to be working more from home this time and going to the office just more for meetings and the rest. And I have to tell my wife, I think since I'm working from home now, we need to review our domestic chores. What domestic chores? I need to think about what domestic chores I'll be doing now since I get to work from home and not rushing off to the office again. And so we have to start sitting down to review. Many people, they are not flexible. They are not adaptable. So they expect their marriage to continuously be a honeymoon. And that can only be if you keep on producing honey. Marriage does not come with honey. You bring in the honey. So because he and she brought in the honey in the first 1 week, in the first 2 weeks of the marriage, it was sweet and beautiful. But what happened? Honey runs out. And by the time the honey you brought in runs out, what happens? Your marriage becomes sour. It becomes bitter. It becomes tasteless. And the reason is simple. You stopped producing honey. So while you're in that marriage, you're supposed to be producing honey every time, every day. It is work, serious work. And that's what many people don't want to do. So don't blame marriage. It is not marriage that is a scam. It is the two people who are in it. The two people who are lazy, the two people who are not deliberate, and the two people who are not loving. Right? They just want things to happen for them. They just want it to just be on the go. They don't want to control things. It doesn't happen like that. It does not happen like that. Nothing happens like that. Don't come up and tell me whatever will be, will be. Whatever will be does not happen. Right? If whatever will be, then there's no need for us going to work. There's no need for me to make this video, edit it, and post it. The video should do itself. But every success that happens to us is because we were deliberate. It was because we wanted that particular success, and we did one or two things to ensure we are able to make that success, to ensure we are able to achieve that success. So right now, what are you doing? As a single person, what are you doing to have a great marriage? How much training are you training yourself? How much development are you developing yourself? As a couple, are you guys developing yourself? We try to do that every time in our marriage to see how from time to time we get to review our marriage, read books together, attend programs together, listen to other people, and see how we can use it to better our own marriage, because we have to keep on producing the oil, and we also have to keep on producing the honey. Who is going to give it to us? Nobody. Where are we going to get it from? Not from nowhere. We are not going to import honey into our marriage. We are going to produce it, right? So the two of you have to be deliberate. Let me end it with this: that marriage is not scam. Marriage is not a scam. It is your own marriage that is a scam to others, because your marriage is faking it. Your marriage had fake life. The two of you were faking it before you got married. The two of you are still faking some things. Are refusing to come down, roll off your sleeves, and get your hands dirty and walk. My name is Earl, and I'm all right. Thank you so much for following Tina. I don't want to sound like I'm angry towards you, but then we just have to make it work if you want it to work. If you want your marriage to be sweet, it will be sweet. If you want it to be sweet and you don't do the work to make it sweet, it can never be sweet, no matter how much you pray about it. Unfortunately, is that it takes two to tango when it comes to marriage. So only one person cannot make it sweet. So you could put in all the efforts that you want to put in, and your partner does not put in his own effort. If your partner is not putting his own efforts, the marriage will also not be sweet. You just become tolerant, patient, and long-suffering. Of course, like Victor Atokolo says, long-suffering is not forever suffering, right? So you see the issue now when it comes to marriage. It's not just about you, your partner also matters. And that's why you must always see this as a team play and as a partnership. And do not join a team or choose a partner who does not want to work like you. Thank you so much. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video so that it betters our algorithm, and of course share this with friends so I get to enjoy the same things that you are learning. You rock.